Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Sorvent's non-meta tournament number 8. And today we have the top cut matches for you. So I actually ended up going through a lot of the matches in this tournament, but a lot of them weren't exactly super entertaining. So I just decided to go ahead and start with the top cut. So up at the top we have Chuchulain, who is on Zefra or Pendulums. He's also on a little Dogmatica engine. And down at the bottom we have Ploxy, who is on Tribrigade Zoodiac. So it's actually pretty interesting to see what his deck can do specifically. The barrier statue is banned in this format, so unfortunately he won't be able to end on that card. But actually, that's kind of a fortunate thing if we're being honest, since that card is pretty degenerate if we're being completely honest. So he starts with the Pot of Prosperity, and I think he picks up this copy of Zefra Nui here. That's probably one of the better options. I think Ecclesia could also be a really good option there, but he's just going to go ahead and pick that up and then send the rest back into the deck. And then I think he's going to go ahead and scale his copy of Zefraxi and Zefrath, and the Zefrath is going to get one of the Satellar Pendulums out of the extra deck, and he's just going to go ahead and Pendulum Summon it. And then he can go ahead and special summon a bunch of cards from his hand as well. Looks like he can make a rank 4 here, which is actually pretty nice as well. But Zefra Nui is going to get hit with an impermanence here, so he can't search for. Most likely it was going to be the negate or the pop. Not exactly too sure, but then he's going to go into Dark Teller Knight, Batalami. I can't even pronounce this one. But I've actually haven't seen this card. It looks like he's going to special summon. It's just like a rank up, it looks like. It seems like that. So we'll see what he can get into. Looks like it can Stellar Diamond, which makes sense. I think that this is a negate for Dark Monster. So during either player's turn, when an opponent's Dark Monster activates, detach material and then negate it. So that's pretty interesting, but not exactly like the best thing ever. But it is like a form of negation, which is kind of decent. Tenki is going to come down to go ahead and search for a copy of Thoroughblade. Thoroughblade is going to hit the board and send this Ram to draw a card. He draws into, unfortunately, the break of the deck, Apex Avian, but it shouldn't really be a huge deal here. Chakra Knight is going to come down over the Thoroughblade to bring back the Ram, and it's kind of interesting to see where he's going to go here. Because the Megaclops is actually banned in this format, so it looks like he's going to go for a Dryden. Dryden might use its effect. No, looks like not. It's also pretty interesting that he didn't use Tiger Mortar to like bring or like attach the Thoroughblade back. So that's kind of interesting. Tribrigade Airborne Assault is going to special summon Nerval from the extra deck, targeting the Ram obviously since it's 500 attack. Then he can go ahead and link those off into a copy of Farajeth. I think this actually locks you into Tri-Monsters, if I remember correctly. Oh, you can only summon or link monsters from the extra deck. That's what it does. So then he's going to get a search for Nerval into Fractal, which can probably use its effect here, but looks like he's actually going to go for Farajeth to special the Kit, and then Kit's effect is probably going to banish a couple of them out of the graveyard. It's pretty interesting that he actually didn't attach, with Tiger to like switch the Chakra 9 and just banish a Chakra 9 instead. But he's gonna go for some Morg here. It's also in like a really like weird position since it's like not pointing to anything. So at least this can't be targeted, but whatever you summon doesn't. So we're gonna see a banned card actually come out here, which is Union Carrier. So actually in this format, it was taking place right before the ban list. So Union Carrier was in this format, but there wasn't really a whole lot of really good targets here, except for one, I think, which was the Mist Valley Thunderbird. So this does facilitate the Infinite Negate combo, which you'll probably see come down here. So he's gonna go take the 700 points of damage since it is buffed with Union Carrier, and in the end phase the Samorg is going to bring out the Apex Avian. So he's playing into a really rough board. Honestly, I don't think there's anything you can do here. You have literally just a D shifter and Zefra Nui. There's there, which makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna go into game 2. We'll see how this goes. He's also going to take first, which is pretty interesting. So he hit a Ghost Joker, which can hit probably one of the scales. Probably going to hit the Zefra or the Zefrath, sorry, which he's going to search here off of the Oracle of Zefra, scaling it. And I think that the Ghost Joker is going to count, or he's not going to. Okay, he's not using the effect. That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure why. he's opting to not hit Ghost Ogre. He might have just misread it, since it says when a monster on the field activates effect, but he forgot this portion here that says when a spell trap card is already face up on the field activates effect. So he was asking, does it count as a monster on the pendulum scale? And he said no. So I think he just misread the Ghost Ogre, unfortunately, so that's a little too bad. But he could have played around it here, actually, with a Zefra Providence, which he probably should have. He probably should have activated it. But actually, it's going to get banished with D-Shifter anyway, so it's not going to matter. So he's going to scale the Zefra Exciton and then a Pendulum Summon here for Zefrax and Zefra Nui. Then he's probably going to make one of them... oh no, he's going to go Chainlink 1 Nui, Chainlink 2 Zefraxi, which is going to make this a tuner. It does get banished here because... Actually, you can't even activate Ghost Ogre under D-Shifter, actually. So this is actually a really big problem here. Oh, he does say here, Ogre must be sent to grave. So he does clarify there that the Ogre actually cannot respond. So he's going to make him a tuner. The Zefra Nui is a tuner, so he can synchro off here. And 9 Pillars is also going to be active. Zephyr Path is... I think this card is a pretty big floodgate, if I remember correctly. If you have 2 Zephyrs in your Pendulum scale, you can shuffle monsters you control... into the deck except Zephyros. Okay, neither player can special summon monsters except from the hand or extra deck. While a card is your Pendulum Stone, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that's pretty interesting. It is a pretty big floodgate. Let's see if he can play around it. He probably can with just a Dryden, since he can just normal summon and then just pop a Dryden and then he's good to play. I would assume. So it looks like he's going to overlay for Chakana and Tiger, and then overlay for a Dryden. The material under the Dryden is going to be banished, but he's just going to use Whiptail effect, which is also kind of interesting. Double Whiptail, actually. So this Dryden's going to actually be pretty chunky, sitting up here at 12 times 2, which is 24 plus the 400, which should be 2,800. Detaching material, it does get banished because of the D-Shifter. We'll see if it does that here. 9 Pillars is going to get hit here, and they should all get banished, actually. So he probably misplayed there, since he knew his opponent had the counter trap. So I'm not exactly too sure why he attached all those Whiptails, since he knew they would get banished, since he had the counter trap. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not exactly too sure what he was thinking there. He's going to search for the Ritual Beast Tamer Zefra Wendy off of the Zephyr Path. It's going to get sent to Graveyard since the D-Shifter no longer applies. So that's actually a pretty interesting tech here. He's going to Pendulum Summon for Zefraxi, and then for a Zefra Wendy from the hand. Make it a tuner, and then he's probably going to Synchro for 6, but he's just going to get hit with that Ghost Ogre here. So it does make it a tuner, but it's just not really... yeah, there's not really a whole lot of reason to. I'm not sure why he didn't attack here either, since this was turn 3, so he could have hit for 25, but he decided not to. Karis is going to be using the effect, probably sending Kit to the grave, and then Kit's going to send Nerval, and Nerval's going to search Fractal, so he's just playing crazy right now, since he can now normal summon the Nerval and then link off into the Fairjet. I think he had enough materials to actually just hard make the Fairjet, so I'm not exactly too sure why he didn't do that. Maybe he's thinking a different play here. Looks like he's just going to normal summon the Fractal as well and use the effect. I think he could have done the same with the same amount of materials, if I remember correctly. I don't know, maybe not, but he's just going to go for Shuriag and use the effect to pop the Zephyr Path, which is the big floodgate. This definitely should have been just, it can't be targeted. Oh, he's not targeting it. He's trying to target the Zephyrath instead, which makes sense. So this card doesn't really floodgate him out too much, actually. So, yeah, he's going to go ahead and hit for 100 damage here over the Fairjet. And then the Fractal is going to attack. I think they both return to the hand. Or into the deck. Oh no, it's only if it battles a monster in the extra monster zone. So I think it can't be destroyed by battle. So yeah. He's just going to go ahead and battle over with Shuriag to take 2,000 damage as well. So that's kind of... Honestly, this Gravity Controller is kind of putting in work, since he can just kill his Fairjet as well. So we might see that happen also. He's going to Tribute Set, actually, since he doesn't have a scale. So that's pretty rough, actually. I probably would attribute set the D-Shifter instead, just because, sure, this has, like, utility in your extra deck, but It's a pendulum card. It's not really like a brick, you know. So that's kind of a weird choice on his part, but we'll see. He's going to link off into Rugal, and then he's going to use the effect of the Link 2 to draw a card, put a card back. Doesn't really matter what he does here. And then the effect of Shuriag is going to banish, and he has 53. So, honestly, this Zefra Nui didn't really matter if he tributes at that or the D-Shifter, but honestly, he played through that board really well. I think that, obviously, the Tribrigade deck seems really strong in this format. The Zefra deck actually seemed pretty balanced, for the most part at least, so hopefully we can see more of this in maybe the next tournament. And if you are interested in playing, I would highly recommend that you join the link to the Discord in the description below. But with all of that said, hopefully we'll see Miko do better in the top 4. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.